All right. Hey, everyone. Back again for Sunset with Sue, Digitizing After Dark, or Digitizing in the middle of the afternoon. What you want to say it, or wherever you guys are. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you see my avatar? I always like to do this check before I get too far into starting. So, don't mind the delay. Um, I am having So, thanks, Misha. I am having an allergy attack again. So I may sneeze. I can't edit it out because, of course, this is live. So, hopefully, if I sound a little stuffy and a little sniffy, it's just allergies. They just kick my butt. I had a nice little nap before we started here. So, woo. Static. Alright. That might be me being stuffy, maybe? I don't know. I didn't change any settings. Maybe it's your internet. Static? Dawn, do you have any static? Am I allergic to Dawn? I'm kind of wondering. Yes, I'm kind of wondering if I'm allergic to Dawn. It could be. It could be.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Okay, Dawn's coming up. Pause for a minute. We'll figure out what to say something.
Hello. Okay, everything's good on there, and you're not.
No.
Yeah, you got some drop frames, but
Okay, so the drop, that's
I'm.
what it is. That's, what is that, YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube may or may not be good, so if it gets really bad, let me know, guys. We can see that, YouTube is dropping parts as I'm speaking, so, although the Wi-Fi just went down, but
Oh, you should actually disconnect that.
why?
Because if it reads off of the plugin, it'd be better. That might help.
Is that any better, guys? Oh, it is still dropping frames, man.
Yeah, that's YouTube. Because your CPU usage is nice and low, so you're.
Like they reduce stuff. This is the result on it. It seems a little better. Thumbs up. All right. So
Alright.
that's what it was.
Let's see
YouTube.
how it goes, and I will keep an eye on
Okay. Awesome. If we have any, make sure you bring it to our attention. Dawn is listening downstairs, but let's see. It's still dropping frames. So we'll just have to do the best we can. I will talk slowly. So, are you guys ready for this Seahorse kind of cartoony character? I had so much fun making this guy. He just developed out of lettering. Um, and it's seriously lettering. It's very cool. So I'd like to mention to you guys that I'm not doing any fancy stitches in this. We're using shapes. We're using fill stitch. We're going into node mode, which is the editing mode. This is just something that I, in my head, say it for whatever. So node mode, we're going to be merging objects. We're going to do letterings as bases for what we want to do. A little bit motif stitch and color blending. So if you don't have a perfect embroidery professional like what I'm using, it's from Dime. If you're using other software, or if you just want to challenge yourself to other software, these are the only stitches that we're going to be using. So you can, if you want, you can make a list of it, but I won't be going into the other software and showing you guys. I'm only gonna do this if it's something different. So, yes, thank you, Cindy King. It's just allergies. I may or may not be allergic to Dawn, but I'm a little stuffy. I don't feel bad, but I'm okay. Gail, hi from Alberta, Canada. Well, hello from Ontario, Canada. Okay, so do you guys want to see how this started? We're just going to slide over a bit. Yep, those are two S's. So what I first started off doing was making a curve in the shape of this. So it goes, follow my, you guys can see my cursor, yes. there. And I couldn't get it to look right. I was like, no, this is too short, this is too long, like what the heck? So I thought, why not use the two S's? That's what it looked like to me. And I've outlined in red, just rough outline, the parts that we're going to be using. So letters are shapes too, right? Right. Letters are shaped too. So I thought that was a cool way to start. Then I had nice, smooth curves in the way that I wanted. So the next step that we're going to do, now I'm just going to show you guys a quick overview and then we're going to work with it from here. So I used the S's for, to keep everything balanced, and I put the shapes down. So his mouth is a heart, a circle, the wing is an oval, and the stomach area is an oval. And we're going to do something completely different for the tail. So that's all I did. That's how I saw it. And here it is with everything merged. And this is where we're going to start working. So I think it is cool. Misha, this seems deceptively simple. Well, there's no big secret. I just thought that the seahorse looked like two S's. And then I thought, yeah. So take a piece of paper and a pen when you're watching this and just see if you can do the shape on your own and make it look good, because I just couldn't get it. And then try in your software with two S's. Even if you followed this line, it's perfect. It's too skinny, so you have to pull it out. But this also, right here, this level number 3, looks like a duck. So I thought, okay, that's a pretty versatile way of doing it. I thought that was cool. And I would just draw this part out. I guess I didn't do it here. Just a running stitch out so we get the right areas of it. So once I had this down, you can see that I moved a couple nodes. Let's look. I just moved a couple of nodes. So this one is going to be a big play. Like you're going to sit and you're going to nodes and make different shapes. It's usually one or two differences. So he's too skinny there, but I wanted that kind of angle. And for some reason, again, I completely forgot about the tail. I don't know why. That was the whole point of doing the S's, but I just left it out. Allergies, they make me sick. So I just went into node mode and I pulled out, the shapes just to see how it's gonna look. And I thought, yeah, so you could put some yellow feet on this and it could be a duck. It could be. I don't want a duck though. We're going for the seahorse. So now what we want to do is we want to merge all of these. So get out of node mode, and I think all the major software that you're digitizing with is gonna have merge. So that's what we want to do here. So merge one thing at a time and make sure it goes well. And then we're going to talk about the wing and all that. So we're going to go to shaping and we're going to go to weld. So weld is what you're looking for in your software. And that just puts them together. Now, if you don't like this, we are going to make way more adjustments. But if you don't like this, this is where node mode is your friend and you can move them around. Now, that is a lot of nodes that it put in when you merge, but you can just select them. And if you find that there's too many, if you're not going to play with them, then don't worry about it and just delete them. As long as you don't delete all of them, then you can play with it a little bit better. So I think that's pretty cool. You can add more. You can change the angle. I want the angle, I think around like that. Let's go apply. Yeah, I sliced his head off, but that's okay. Let's add it back in. I didn't actually. I'm going to go back to Control Z here because we don't really need to move all those nodes. I just wanted to show you guys. So back to normal. I did the Control Z a couple of times. Now, if you want it more, of a different kind of shape, something like that. That's more ducky, but ducky. I kind of like the heart. I just thought it looked really, really cute for it. So I'm just clicking off to generate stitches, and we're going to do a lot actually with these Bezier curves, because this one you really need it. So, you can play around with it. You can give it a different look. See this here? I made it smaller and bigger, and I kind of changed so it's less round. So we can work on that so far. But I want to put the body in together. So get out of node mode again, and I'm going to control click the two things. We're not merging the wing at all, because it's separate. So are you guys following along okay? I gotta stop for a drink. Oh, I see a lot of people that we know. Awesome. Ronag from Norway, North Norway. Thanks for joining us. Chris Yost, hi. And there's a couple of newbies, so welcome, newbies. This is the most fun you can have with embroidery now. To the newbies, if you don't have Perfect Embroidery Pro, I highly recommend it. I find it enjoyable. But you can do this in any software. It just helps you learn your software. So, okay, now we have the Seahorse all in one. So, except for the wing. We're not doing the wing. So, I thought, what gives it the look of a duck is his round head. So we're going to edit, go into node mode again, and I am going to reduce some of these because we have to move them. So even like that is okay. Click to make it work. We don't want a straight line though. See the curve I have here? I could leave it like this. This looks a little too sharp right here. Designer's Gallery. I don't know what Designer's Gallery is. Someone just asked, can I do this in Designer's Gallery? If it is digitizing software, then the answer is yes, because you should have all these tools. My suggestion would be, oh, thank you, Isabel. Much appreciated. My guess would be yes. Yes, you can. So I'm just going to go ahead and just delete some of these nodes that we created here, because I find it just a little bit annoying, and I want, when I'm doing curves, I want smooth curves. So see the shape that I'm creating here? I want this part in the back, and I'll give you guys these to play around with, because it took me a good few minutes to figure out the shaping of it. It's not hard or anything. You just got to make it look right. See, I'm getting there, and smooth it out. And this kind of looks like Homer. That looks like a nose, and that's Homer. So I think maybe we need to make a couple of adjustments there. What do you guys think? Yes. So it's getting there, but you see how you play with it and just get it how you want. You can change it, and you could also do it a little more realistic. But this is all about node mode, starting off with your shapes and moving everything around just a little bit. So I have this guy grouped, so let me ungroup him. It got kind of a lot with all these things on it. It was like, wow, okay. So is it grouped? Ungroup. Control U. Remember that. So grouping comes in handy. Now, this is the oval for the wing. I'm going to show you really quickly how I created this kind of a shape. I guess it's not a wing, it's a fin. Ronag, thank you very much. It's awesome. So, this is just a circle. Let's go back into our node mode or editing mode. And all I did was add 2 points. So the difference between a perfect circle or smooth oval is, a couple of points, believe it or not. And I find this the easiest way to do it. I'm going to zoom right in because we are going to play around with our Bezier curve. So if you don't know what a Bezier curve is, it's a curve point, but it has these extensions. Now, if you look, you can create shapes just by, or move the shapes just by pulling these out. And it's a little confusing at first, but you can get used to it. So you can just basically do any kind of a shape that you want. When you pull it out, it stretches with you. Can you guys see that okay? I encourage everybody to mess around with them and get to know them because Bezier curves are really handy. It does take a little practice, but once you've got it, it's so helpful. It'll save you so much time because I'm not actually moving the points, right? I am just kind of manipulating them. See how I'm doing that? And if you pull them from this side, they go differently as well. You can move the whole thing if you want to. So this is again a play around. The fancy curve thing isn't in Hatch. No, I think we figured that out, didn't we? If you have Hatch or if you don't have the Bezier curves, this is how, let me go back and I'll show you how to do it without the Beziers. So back, 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 probably a few backs. All right, we're back. I would take this and change it to a line, and then you can pull it in and see you get nice curves. And I would take this and I would add a point and change it to line, and then pull it in, and then you can, I'm gonna not play with them, but you can move the curve. It's just a curve point. Move the curve point up so it kind of matches, but yeah, that looks good too without the Bezier curves. But you see, if you use the Bezier curve, you can make this side come out a little bit more. See, isn't that easier? Kind of see how it's coming down, and it's a little bit bigger. But so either way, if you don't have the Bezier points, you can just improvise and just make it how you want. But literally just 2 points to make a wing or fin. I don't know. Big bird's foot. All right, Misha. If you want to take an oval and change it to big bird's foot, then that's how you do it. And it's just 2 points. And I think a lot of people forget that it's easier to do it rather than trying to do this by hand. I mean, you can, but you feel like you're out in the wind sort of thing, and it's a little more difficult to do. So you can play with it, you can play around with it. We're going to put the complex fill stitch into it, and there you go. So it's different than the one I created, and you know what? That's fine. So all we're doing between this and this one is the shaping. So I need to play around a little bit more. I want this more of a recognizable heart. This is pretty good. I'd like this a little more curvy sort of thing, like the S's. And what I ended up doing is pulling over my lettering that we used in the first place as a guide. See how that works? Now, of course, this lettering is huge in the satin stitch. They're split. But this is how I did it. Now, remember, I'm not going up, but this can be, pulled out just a little bit. But you see how I get the nice shape going on? Easier to follow. So we would want, now that we have that over it, no, we don't have it over it, we have it under it. But anyways, you can just move the nodes to mimic here, and it'd be nice. So yeah, lettering can be, a guide. Don't be afraid of guides. Guides, it's what helps me along with doing this. Now, the next thing is we're going to work on the tail, and I did bring over my other node here, or my other S here, kind of like that, but I decided to change it a little bit. And what this is, believe it or not, this is another letter S reversed, sorry. Oh, I need a drink. More sugar. Elaine Chapman, thank you very much. Jackie Cheek says, you make it look so easy. Yeah, the more time you spend playing around with moving the nodes, at least you have something to start with. If someone said, can you make a sea fish? and you didn't have any access to any clip art, do you think you could do it? Now you can, but before, do you think you could do it? No. Oh, nice drink. So I haven't sneezed yet, knock wood, so thank goodness for that. So this is just a letter S reversed. So what I looked for, the part that I'm looking for, is the curly tail. Now, what I wanted to show you, I took the letter and then I put it into an outline. So it's an outline, it's artwork, there's no stitches. And I thought, boop de boop, this would be really easy. I could just convert it over and move some nodes. However, if you look at it closely, it is not attached, and everything I tried to do kind of messed up because I didn't look close enough and realized the ends aren't attached. So with it not being attached, that makes it an open object and you can't fill it. You can't fill it. So that's what that reminder arrow was for. And I thought, oh, well, you can trace the whole thing, but there's no real point. We're trying to make this easier. I like the way the curves are, and I like everything. So there's no point doing all that work. However, you can do tracing. So all I did was, yay, Karina, thank you very much. I'm glad you made it here, Karina. You're awesome. So all I did was leave this as artwork because it's only a template. And I took the run stitch, or you can go directly to the complex fill because it'll remind you that it needs to be closed. And let's just do it. It's not hard. So that's a square point, which I did wrong. So go back, and I just got to hold down my control key here. And I'm just placing points around, just curve points around. So a backwards letter like the first one, you can use any kind of scripty, swirly, whatever letter that you like. Square points at the ends. Then we'll go back to our curves to give yourself a guide. Why not? I thought the curls were perfect. Now you're going to have to play around with it, but the first step I did was just to make it, go how I wanted. So look at this. And we got to go back up here and close it, of course. Don't worry about that part that went up. It's fine. Thank you. There we go. So that's not quite it, but thankfully our backwards letter S came out with, helped us out a lot. Now, all we have to do, I'd like this part to maybe look a bit thicker, make some adjustments so it flows with the body. I think this is too much of a drop off. So node mode, you guys are going to spend a lot of time in node mode. And I just made it fit in a little bit better. Now, don't worry about the overlap because we are going to merge everything. And I think this down here could be a bit thicker. Because I didn't put like a gazillion nodes on it, I could have actually put a lot less. Less is more when it comes to nodes, and this is exactly why. So I just moved a few, 4 or 5, make it look a bit thicker. Isn't that cool? Just for a template. Ooh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Misha. You're awesome, too. What would I do without you guys, all the mods? What would I do, I tell you? But isn't that cool how to make a swirly that just works from a backward S? So, of course, delete that. And this is what we're left with so far. You can see from here to here, I still made some adjustments. I'm just adjusting every time I kind of look at it. I change a few points. I did a few things. That's the good part of it. So I'm going to go back out of node mode into select mode and merge these two pieces so it becomes one. And you know what? Voila! You have actually created it. I would do like the top part and then the bottom part and merge it together. You can see we're going to have to move some nodes there because it's not quite right. So let's ungroup it. Now let's select the top, select the bottom, right click, shaping, and weld. I think I keep saying merge. I don't mean merge. I mean weld. But you could leave that there. It's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. And then we can just fix that point and see the difference from when it welds to this. But we just have to move. I'm going to do my usual. It helps. It just helps so you don't get lost. And I'm going to, that went square, so we're going to add a point, and it's a curve point, and we can just make it flow a little more smoothly. So this is something you can put your TV on, and you can, you know, play with the nodes, play around with the nodes. Not like that. I'm making a mess. There's so many nodes. I think there should be a way to simplify it. Sandy! Thank you, Sandy. Love the live videos and chats. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So far, does this make sense to you guys? That how I use the shapes and the templates? See, I spent a little more time on this one, which we're getting close to final. I spent a lot more time smoothing it out. Lorelai, I'm so late. That's okay. That's okay. So it makes sense to everyone? Yay. Okay, because I had so much fun doing it. It did take me a little bit of time, but yeah, it's easier than you think. This is the whole sequence here, which I thought I put it on the poster because, or on the cover picture, because I thought it was neat that it started off with two letter S's and just came into this. So if you can see even from standing back that I need to make this smoother. So I took out most of the curves. I put the S back and then just went around the curves. So yes, everyone will be able to catch up if you miss it. What I said, I'm going to say it again right here. These are the only tools that you need to use. Shapes, fill stitch, node mode, because there's a lot of editing in it. Merge, which I mean weld. That's why I keep saying it. It's weld. Merge or weld. I just don't want everyone to get confused. Or weld. Apply. Yes, or weld. Lettering, because we're using the letters S, which I just reversed them up here. Motif stitch and color blending. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Oh, that's a cute picture. You're number one. Yay! So, play it around. Like you can see, like I said, stepping back, that on this one that we were just playing with, I lost the curve. And I would just sit and play with that. I don't think you guys need to see me play around with nodes, but I've basically shown you how to do it. Little drink there. So then I was looking at I just copied and pasted so I could keep going. I wanted to change the shape of the wing. You can see right here that the shape has changed. All I did was pull it out a little bit. I just wanted it to be a little bit longer. So I just manipulated my own shape. I should have done maybe a longer, wider shape there. But, you know, that's fine. You still know what it is. Now, this guy is kind of a cartoony, or this girl is kind of a cartoony fish. Seahorse fish-ish. I keep saying fish-ish. I like that there. So I thought, well, everybody, you know, when we're doing cartoony ones, the eye expression makes all the difference. So I thought eyelashes. Now, I want this all in one piece and I want it to show up. Satin stitches I thought would be too thick, which I think they are. So I just plotted down a couple of running stitch pieces in a curve. You can play around with the curve after. And then I did the eyelashes. So up and down, over, up and down, over, up and down. And if you want one more, you can just go over it because it's just running stitches. So she can have really full eyelashes. And then I just went back on it. And we can hit enter, enter. There we go. And change the color. You can make amends to it, like, fix it up, node mode. Maybe this one needs to be shorter, that sort of thing. But there you have a beautiful eyelash. And I thought, okay, well, that one's a little too big, so I just showed you guys bigger. Make it, a little more suitable and give her an eyelashes. And that gives her face, a lot more detail. And I refined a little bit more, but other than that, it ended up as this. So I'm like, oh, I was trying to figure out an easy way to do the top part, the fins, I guess. Now, you could use the projection or ripple stitch and just make it wavy. I think that would look really good all the way down to here. But this is a motif stitch. I just looked through and I tried to find one that was kind of round, I thought maybe the hearts would be cute. Different ones. Let's try this one and apply. And that's all I did. Even that, I think, looks pretty good. That would work too. Then I picked my colors and decide. Oh, the other thing I did, I made it a variable size. So the actual motif is smaller down here and larger at the top. And I think that is a delightful effect to do. I think it's awesome. If you want to just use this as tracing, that's okay too, and just kind of make it in a different color. You could do the scallops yourself. So Sue should release her set of animals with cutesy faces. Maybe, maybe. And then, of course, the color blend. Now, you don't have to do the color blend. I really think she is beautiful like this. I think it's groovy like that. But even better with the color blend on it. I didn't get a chance to stitch it out, but it's really good. Someone said you need a little bow, but let me show you what I did here. I did make a bow. So I made a Mr. and Mrs. and same thing, color blended. The eye I did a little bit differently. It's an oval with a slight oval, and I kind of tilted them up. What is the correct spelling of the Bezier curve so I can look it up? You spelled it right. Bezier. I have an Embrilliance, an older Embrilliance video talking about Bezier curves and kind of giving you tips and tricks on how to use them. So, okay, let's make the bow tie. I'll show you how to do that. Of course, it's shapes because, that's what we do in this class. We work with shapes. I was going to start with a heart, but it didn't look, quite right. So the eyes are the same. I made this one a little bit bigger, but I gave her thicker lashes. So this is just satin stitches, so it would stand out better. And then I just copied and pasted and reversed it and put it over here. And they're exactly the same, but I just changed the color. So this is blue and brown, kind of like a tan color. That's all I did for that. But let's try a bow tie. If you've never done a bow tie, this is how we're going to do it. So, triangle, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it around. You can see it already, right? You can see it already. And then I am going to copy and paste. Remember, this is only artwork. It's only artwork. Whoops. There. Watch for the hand. I'm going to go up here to flip horizontal, and then remember to always use the tools that you have at hand. I want to make sure that's even, so I'm going to use all the alignment tools because I really like using those. So this one, yeah, I had it pretty well. There we go. And then the final touch, we can maybe overlap it a little bit. So, because we want to have it connect a bit. So I'm just moving it. I was just doing nothing. Nope, let's just move it over a little bit so they cross over. I like that better. Then we can merge them or do whatever you want. You don't have to. We can weld them and you have one piece. So then we can convert to complex fill, and that's almost done. All we need, believe it or not, is just a rectangle over it. So just like a square kind of thing for the knot part. And then we will fill that in. So convert to complex fill. And there you go. You have a bow. Easier than you thought. You can play around with it as you want. I am going to group it, and I changed its color, but we could put it maybe with a little tilt. We could put it in her hair, question mark, quotes, question mark, whatever. However you want to put it. And there you have one with a bow tie and one with a bow. Isn't that pretty? Maybe I should do it another color. I kind of think that looks terrible. How about pink? So making it all come together is pretty easy. So these are just reversed and changed colors. There's nothing different other than eyelashes or bows. Is that I changed the colors. But see how easy that is? You could just see a heart right here, or Mr. and Mrs. or something like that. This in the bottom makes a nice shape, but just play around. I see where I could make some adjustments in the body. It's not, but remember too, it's not perfection that you're going for. It's not, you don't have to make it realistic. You don't have to make it perfect. You don't have to make it, anything else other than what you like. So again, I would make some adjustments to these two guys. Take your time, listen to a book, listen to something, and it makes it a whole lot easier. So all I was going for was the smooth transition, less of, oh, you made that from a circle and a heart to that is a really, really cute seahorse. So, but even if I left it like this one kind of bumpy, it would still be cute as heck when you're done. Nobody would notice. Maybe that's the way your seahorse-ish is created. It's still recognizable. So I just play around, and it's still got the curve under it. I think it's really cool. I had a lot of fun playing around with this, but I'll leave you guys a file to look at where the nodes are and how it goes. It'll be the working file for this software, which is Perfect Embroidery Pro, and just like a stitch file. I guess I'll just throw a PES in there and see. So what do you guys think? Easier than you thought it would be or harder? Because I think it flows really well. How did you get the motif to run down the back? Oh, I could show you. Oh, sorry, I had to drink. Oh, that was so good. Take a running stitch, and I wanted it to start here, and this is all you do. So I went down to here, down here, and hit enter, and it doesn't matter that it's even off a little bit. And then I went to change it to, is it there? Motif. That's it. Let's apply that one. Groovy, even that looks good. That's how I did it. Not hard at all. Super easy. Just it just looks more complicated, and I think that's always a cool thing. So, she's got a short haircut. She's got a short haircut. But I just played around with the motifs until I found something I really liked. You know, that's kind of groovy too, isn't it? Looks like almost like spikes or part of the bows. And one of my favorite things to do is to go through motifs and play with them. They're kind of like fonts. It looks like a punk rocker hairdo. So there's a lot of options if you can't find. Um, could you do a show on how to embroider into face masks? Not necessarily make the face masks, but decorate them. I could. You just hoop it like you would hoop anything, but I'm not putting um, designs on any face masks, and you may agree or disagree with it, but I think putting thousands of holes through the fabric is going to kind of defeat the whole purpose. So I don't think it's a good idea to embroider onto them. I think you're just creating like a whole area to get contaminated. So it just I would hoop. The best idea is most people are putting them together on the machine. So stop before the next step of sewing like the back on, stitching the back one. Then do your design. Kind of like oh, Misha, embroidery face masks makes them less effective. This is from the CDC. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That to me, it's just logic. When I saw people, everybody just goes ahead and does it because some of them were funny. Um, as an extra layer, yes, you could do that. Sorry, I misunderstood. John says just as an extra layer. I think you would do that one layer and stitch it out and cut it into the shape that you need for it. And before you finish off so it's going to be like in two stages. Before you're going to finish off the mask in the hoop, just put that on top. Just kind of like as you would put it on the bottom, you put it on top and trim it and stitch it on there. So if you were allergic to dawn, it would be all year round, not just during allergy season. I don't know. I don't know about that. I might have to argue. Yes, that would have to be a 3-layer mask. Yes, because the 2 layers with stitches through it is just not going to do any good. So you could actually make a mask cover. So a separate mask sort of thing that you pin or clip or Velcro on the sides together, something like that. But like I said, to me it just defeats the whole purpose of it. I'm not wearing a mask to, be funny or look good. I'm protecting everyone that I'm around. So that's just me. But yeah, you could do a mask over a mask. They're hard to breathe in, mind you. But you know what? Try it. 3-layer mask. I don't think it'll give you any more protection, but it'll be cute for sure. Um, does anyone else have any more questions? Cheryl Hogan says, I plan to embroider something on my personal mask, then put interfacing over the back and cover up all the stitches and holes. Yeah, I think that would work. Sharon says the only other option would be an iron-on patch. Yep, that's definitely an option. Or, you know what? I saw someone doing something and they were using heat transfer vinyl. So if you have a cutter and a little bit of the heat transfer vinyl, that you could just, iron it on. So, yeah, that's fantastic. That's what if I was going to put lettering, and I'd probably put a swear word or two, but, just for fun, I would use HTV. You can use it. Jackie Cheek says, how do you blend if you don't have PEP? Well, depending on the software, I did I can't remember, was it goldfish? Yes, I think it was goldfish-ish. I showed you guys how to color blend in the other software. It could be called a gradient, um, that sort of thing. HTV doesn't stand up to hot washing temps, though. Um, I, I, we don't wash in hot water, so I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends. I don't know. So color blending. I showed you guys how to do it in, I can't remember. It was two out of the three. I had a hard time though. It's very difficult to switch over like that. So, will the tips and tricks you shared work in Hatch? Absolutely. Remember, I'm only using basic stitches on this, and if you have the digitizing level of Hatch, yes, it will absolutely work. So it's easy to do. Mine crinkles off. I've never had that happen when I do shirts for the girls, but I don't know. Maybe it's different. You can get like commercial level HTV, or you can get the hobby level. So I don't know. So play around with this. Now let me know, did you guys find that this like would seem hard to do now that you've seen how to do it, or do you think it's something that you guys can do? There's a lot of playing involved with it and a lot of, moving nodes and everything, but it is, relatively easy to do. I kind of thought, with all the help with it. You could see where I did some adjustments because I deleted a whole lot of these. So just to make it round and using my Bezier curve, see how far that they're out, just to make the curve nice. Now it doesn't have to be that big, but see, I don't like that as much. Control Z. So it's a grab a coffee and a drink and play around with it. Pull in your other shapes if you need them. This one looks a lot easier than some of the other ones. Oh, I was thinking it might be more difficult. It looks difficult, doesn't it? But it isn't. It's not as difficult. So the whole point of the thing is that I saw a seahorse with two S's. That's how I started off, and I tilted one around and played around with it, and then laid everything over top, and that is something. So another thing I should mention though, this seahorse that you create, or anything you create like this, you're not using clip art. You don't have to worry about royalties. You don't have to worry about anything like this. It is your original seahorse. It's done by you completely. And, you can add your own flair to it. See how the lines go nicely on this one? That's what I like about it. It's nice and smooth. You can tell these are hearts, but not so bad. And it's less like a ducky. So maybe an oval for the top would look good. So you explain and show. That's why you're so good at teaching us. Yay! Yay! I am hoping you guys can come up with something like completely awesome. It's so much fun to just, to be able to do this. I think, a lot of digitizers have to have some kind of clip art to be doing anything, whereas we can use an idea and shapes, and will be the next thing coming up, I guess, after this is going to be digitizing from a photograph. So the homework will be go outside and take a picture and then digitize on it. And I thought that would be fun. Margaretha, I made most of your fishes, fish-ishes. How should that be? What's the plural of fish-ish? I don't know. In P Design 10, love it, thank you. Yeah, you guys are learning a lot. And believe it or not, what you're learning here is a skill that most people don't have. Just think a couple months ago, if someone said to you, can you make a fish with, fins? You wouldn't know where to start. You'd be looking at your blank screen. Now you'll just pull out a circle and start from there. And sometimes it takes a little bit to get started. And if you have something started, then you can start building on it. So, fishes? That sounds fun. I can't wait to try. I can't wait to see what you come up with, Cindy. So just remember, this is an elite kind of skill that you can create your own one of a kind things. Most people seriously can't do it. So I was so afraid to push a button. I feel better now. Yeah, go for it. You can't mess up your software or break anything. Um, can these designs and tips also be used in Cricut Design Space? Uh, no. Well, yeah, in a way, I guess you could create all the shapes in Cricut Design Space, and I'm pretty sure you can merge them. So, yeah, yeah, you could. You could easily do it. I think. I never actually thought about that. I am going to check that out because that's fascinating. Great idea. See, this is the end of it. This is where we come up with different ideas and different things to do. And I think that would be really cute to cut it out like that. Ooh, sorry. Little cough there. Dawn must be around making me cough. So, I hope you guys put some work into our guy, give him or girl, whatever, starting with S's and moving along. It was easier than it looks, and I think the end result is really, really cute. I love it. I'm so happy. So, are there any questions, you guys? Any questions at all? This weekend on Saturday, we're going to be doing the new dime door, the May door. I don't know what it looks like yet. We'll find out on Thursday, but it will be a lot of fun to do. And I'm going to be testing out that groovy thread. I'm going to do it. Hopefully I have all the right colors. I don't know what the door is going to be, but I'm going to try that little thread. And it's sparkly and really kind of cool looking. So, Dawn, I'm nowhere near Sue. I could shout at ya. Yes, dime door. I'm looking forward to it. So I'll get that set up. I think the title page would just be a question mark. The thread looks gorgeous. So I like doing stuff like that live so you can see my real time reaction for it. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions, you can ask here right now, or you can ask the questions in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group. That is the backup group to this channel, so we can help you out if you have any problems. So thanks, Sue, for having the live stream amidst your allergies. Yeah, well, I had a nap beforehand, so I feel better than I do most days, so it was nice. I'm okay. It's just allergies. It just kind of sucks. So waiting for the dime door. I know, I'm so excited, but that's what we will be doing on the weekend. So thanks everyone for watching. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Remember to be patient. If you're doing something and it's frustrating, save and walk away and come back to it and get everything nice and smooth how you like it. This is your Seahorse-ish. So if you like it, then it's fantastic. So, okay guys, get busy, get doing it. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye, everyone.